Ada salah satu warga negara Indonesia itu baru melahirkan secara sesar di hospital pemerintah, rumah sakit pemerintah di Malaysia. Terus dari pengalamannya itu dia bagilah rating 2 daripada 100 untuk pelayanan dan fasilitas serta staf yang bekerja di rumah sakit itu. Makanannya katanya nggak enak, perawatnya katanya semuanya cerewet. Udah gitu, makanannya nggak enak. Udah tadi saya bilang kan banyak dokter praktek katanya.
Ngelebihin Singapura, India, dan Turki. Malaysia nomor 1 wisata medis dunia.
Dan mereka ini hebat. Kayak di sistemnya healthcare ya, ada rumah sakit yang di Malaysia itu nawar gini. You operasi jantung ya, saya charge 20.000 ringgit. Itu sudah jaminan. Kalau terjadi implikasi, itu nggak usah bayar lagi.
Jadi kalau POV sebagai dokter, secara quality kita nggak kalah. Pada waktu di UGM pun, pas aku punya teman, ada beberapa temanku di Malaysia sama Singapura, itu teman kelompokku. Secara IP kita nggak beda.
Secara human
kita nggak kalah. Tapi
secara sistem kita kalah.
Secara sistem kita kalah.
Nggak usah sok-sokan memberi rating buruk di hospital di negara orang kalau kita pun menumpang di negara orang. Kalau belum pernah kau rasakan masuk hospital, mau apa, siapa yang bayar, nggak usah sok-sokan ngasih rating buruk ke rumah sakit pemerintah di negara orang lain. Datanglah ke Indonesia ini, berobatlah kau ke rumah sakit pemerintah. Entah pulang udah pakai ambulan nanti.
Hai teman-teman, kalian pasti nggak nyangka ya, ada kabar yang lagi ramai banget di media sosial. Seorang warga negara Indonesia yang baru aja melahirkan lewat operasi sesar di salah satu rumah sakit pemerintah di Malaysia, malah kasih rating cuma 2 dari 100 untuk pelayanan di sana. Wah, ini sih bukan cuma bikin kaget, tapi juga bikin dokter Indonesia geleng-geleng kepala.
Ini viral. Ada salah satu warga negara Indonesia itu baru melahirkan secara sesar di hospital pemerintah, rumah sakit pemerintah di Malaysia. Terus dari pengalamannya itu dia bagilah rating 2 daripada 100 untuk pelayanan dan fasilitas serta staf yang bekerja di rumah sakit itu. Kenapa dia memberi rating 2 dari 100? Alasannya yang pertama katanya setelah melahirkan dia itu 4 hari nggak mandi, anaknya juga nggak dimandikan, makanannya katanya nggak enak, perawatnya katanya semuanya cerewet. Udah gitu, makanannya nggak enak. Udah tadi saya bilang kan banyak dokter praktek katanya. Nggak usah sok-sokan memberi rating buruk di hospital di negara orang kalau kita pun menumpang di negara orang. Kalau belum pernah kau rasakan masuk hospital, mau apa, siapa yang bayar, nggak usah sok-sokan ngasih rating buruk ke rumah sakit pemerintah di negara orang lain. Datanglah ke Indonesia ini, berobatlah kau ke rumah sakit pemerintah. Entah pulang udah pakai ambulan nanti.
Ngelebihin Singapura, India, dan Turki. Malaysia nomor 1 wisata medis dunia. Jadi ya, kenapa begitu? Soalnya Malaysia itu punya kelebihan. Biayanya lebih rendah, kualitasnya bagus, terus infrastrukturnya lengkap. Nah, menurut Nomad Kapitalis, perusahaan global dari Dubai, ini ada ranking 5 besar untuk wisata medis. Malaysia, Singapura, Thailand, India, Turki. Indonesia nomor berapa ya? Coba tebak.
Dan mereka ini hebat. Kayak di sistemnya healthcare ya, ada rumah sakit yang di Malaysia itu nawar gini. You operasi jantung ya, saya charge 20.000 ringgit. Itu sudah jaminan. Kalau terjadi implikasi, itu nggak usah bayar lagi.
Ada garansinya.
Oh, dia tawarin suatu paket. Nah, ini yang mungkin di sini nggak tahu, kita perlu teliti kembali paket itu berlaku nggak itu. Kalau di sana paket, tapi kita karena ada BPJS, kita juga susah nawari paket.
Tapi gue tanya dengan lu setuju nggak dokter luar negeri lebih bagus daripada dokter di Indonesia?
Depends. Ini POV-nya bagaimana nih?
Oke, gimana?
Aku udah nyiapin jawaban. Depends. Kalau sebagai POV dokter, aku nganggap kualitas dokter kita nggak kalah. Karena hampir semua dokter Singapura juga dulu teman kuliahku.
Oke.
Dulu kuliah
Setuju.
di UGM, ada IUP.
Setuju.
Secara quality ya.
Bahkan universitas gue masih kalah canggih dengan nggak boleh ngomong kayak gitulah. Universitas gue universitas di Palembang. Universitas Sriwijaya. Waktu gue kuliah dulu ya, bahkan orang-orang Malaysia,
kuliah di situ.
India itu kuliah di sini.
Sama.
Artinya mereka pun juga banyak kuliah dari tempat kita, dari Indonesia.
Iya, secara quality kita tuh nggak kalah. Tapi ada 3 hal yang membedakan kita.
Oke, apa nih? Menarik.
Yang pertama, karena dokter kita itu satu hari bisa melayani lebih dari 50.
Oke.
Maka dia menyingkat waktu.
Oke.
Maka komunikasi kita nggak akan sebagus sama dokter Singapura.
Yes.
Nah, kedua, ya dokter tahu, dokter punya klinik. Impor alkes itu mahal.
Yes, oke.
Nah, otomatis kan impor alkes mahal, secara pengusaha, OPEX-nya mahal.
Oke.
Maka harga pelayanan di sini pasti lebih mahal dari Singapura.
Oke.
Mungkin bisa sama. Nah, terus yang ketiga, gaji dokter di sana lebih tinggi.
Yes.
Nah, kita nggak bisa bohong tuh.
Di sana bayar di Singapura satu dokter sekali konsultasi itu bisa 5 juta, bisa 6 juta.
Iya,
loh.
POV-nya beda di sini. Jadi kalau POV sebagai dokter, secara quality kita nggak kalah. Pada waktu di UGM pun, pas aku punya teman, ada beberapa temanku di Malaysia sama Singapura, itu teman kelompokku. Secara IP kita nggak beda.
Secara human
kita nggak kalah. Tapi
secara sistem kita
kalah. Secara sistem kita kalah.
Free healthcare in Malaysia versus BPJS in Indonesia. What's the difference? Hello, I'm Dr. Erta. Today I would like to respond to a comment from Raja Sambir who said, in Malaysia when we go to government, hospital and clinics, the medicine is free. I repeat, free. That does sound tempting, but how exactly do Malaysia and Indonesia healthcare system compare? So let's break it down together. The first, Malaysia healthcare system. It is true that in Malaysia, healthcare services at government hospital and clinic are almost free for its citizens. Patients only pay a token fee, such as 1 ringgit Malaysia or around 3,000 rupiah for a consultation at a government clinic, while inpatient care and medication are typically provided at no cost. This is because Malaysia healthcare system is fully funded by tax. In other words, Malaysians pay upfront through taxes, so healthcare is free when they need it. However, there are limitations. Due to the heavy subsidies from the government, public healthcare facilities in Malaysia often struggle with high patient volumes. This means patients may have to wait a long time for a consultation or treatment. Especially for non-urgent cases. How about Indonesia healthcare system with BPJS? In Indonesia, we have BPJS Kesehatan, which operates on a similar principle to Malaysia system, but with a different approach. Indonesia citizens pay monthly premium based on the service class they choose. For class 1, they pay around 150,000 a month. For class 2, they pay around 100,000 a month. And for class 3, they pay for 35,000 rupiah a month. This premium grant participant access to healthcare services including hospitalization, medical procedures, and medication. Unlike Malaysia free system, Indonesia BPJS operates on mutual aid model. This means the contribution you make are used to help cover the cost of other participants who are currently unwell. An advantage of this system is its broad coverage. For example, major surgeries like heart bypass or cancer treatment can be fully covered by BPJS. Patients can also seek care at private hospital as long as they are partnered with BPJS. Free in Malaysia versus BPJS Indonesia, which is better? Malaysia's system may sound more appealing because it's completely free for its citizens. However, let's dive deeper. Free healthcare often comes with long queues due to high number of patients. For faster services, many Malaysians opt for private hospital, which is significantly more expensive. With BPJS in Indonesia, you pay a monthly premium, but the flexibility allows patients to choose private hospital if they prefer faster services as long as they are BPJS affiliated. In Indonesia, people often complain about BPJS queues, but if the referral system is followed correctly, the care provided can still be optimal. Additionally, BPJS premiums are much lower compared to the tax Malaysians pay to subsidize their healthcare. One of BPJS' greatest strength is its mutual aid model. You might feel like you're wasting money because you rarely fall ill, but remember, the contribution you make are helping save someone else's life. For example, patients with heart failure needing bypass surgery, cancer patient undergoing chemotherapy, or premature babies in ICU care. All of this can be fully covered by BPJS. Malaysia's system is more direct, as it is tax-funded, but the solidarity and the collective support offered by BPJS are uniquely beautiful in their own way.
You won't believe how much it costs to go to the doctor in Malaysia. My girlfriend was feeling terrible, so I took her to the best rated clinic I could find, which wasn't saying a lot. It didn't look that impressive. The schedule was entirely booked, but Malaysian people are super nice and they made time just for us. People had complained about the price, and when I went to pay, they gave us 4 different prescriptions, including for reduce swollen and painkiller. I couldn't believe everything in total was only $12. I guess having a Russian girlfriend isn't always expensive.
We just visited the dentist in Kuala Lumpur and the price is going to shock you.
We needed to do our yearly checkup at the dentist and we found the Kuala Lumpur International Dental Clinic in Ampang and we were able to book through WhatsApp.
The check-in process was actually super easy. We arrived, they gave us a form, we just quickly filled it out and sat down and literally waited like 5 minutes and then Sarah was seen pretty much straight away.
I don't know about you, but I'm always quite scared to go to the dentist, but this one was very painless.
So I went in straight after Sarah and they put these giant red glasses on me to protect me from the light, and honestly I felt a little bit of pain, but overall it's generally a great process.
The whole process was just 40 minutes and it cost us $44 each, and I covered mine with Safety Wings health insurance.
Is this cheaper than where you're from?
This was one of the main reasons we were concerned about coming back to the UK for winter after just spending 7 months in Malaysia, where, to be honest, we couldn't fault the healthcare at all. So we knew coming back to the UK was going to be slightly different, especially coming back in the winter where it's cold and everyone gets ill. You have flu going around, you have sickness bugs going around, and now apparently we've got quademic, which is a bit of everything rolled into one, and people are getting quite poorly. But to be honest, the hospital's bursting at the seams. That's kind of a normal thing for the UK at this point. It always seems to be the A&Es are so busy, there's not enough hospital beds, the NHS is under severe pressure all the time. So when we have a quademic that's appeared, it makes it even worse. And it is worrying when you kind of know what healthcare you could get in Malaysia. You could walk into A&E and a lot of the time it would be empty. You could go to the doctors and walk into your doctor's surgery until 10 p.m. at night on weekdays without an appointment and just sit there and wait for a doctor to see you. And it was open Saturday and Sundays as well until 6 p.m. That's so different to the UK. Doctor's surgeries are open Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and then it's out-of-hours services, and they've cut back on a lot of out-of-hours services now as well. So it really is a case of, I mean, our nearest A&E where we used to live was 45 minutes away. That's a long drive, and knowing that when you get there you probably won't be able to be seen, and if you can, you're in for a long wait, potentially up to 10 hours. It's a scary place to be. So right now I can't wait to get back on that plane and get back over to Malaysia, where I know they actually can help you if you're in need.
So my wife had to undergo emergency surgery. We decided to upgrade to a room that would allow us all to stay together. We've upgraded to what's called the VVIP suite. So I'm just going to take you for a look around now. You come through and you've got a full dining area, a mini fridge with complimentary snacks, coffee. You've got sofa, chairs, smart TV, and this is the room for the kids. So it comes with a queen bed, lamps, they've got a wardrobe so we can put some of their bits away. And as you can see, they're super cozy. They've got their own guest bathroom. The best bit is, Tiff has got her own private room, a bit squeaky. Her own curtains, her own TV, and then another huge bathroom, shower. I mean, it's just next level for a hospital. We just feel super blessed. So this particular room, we have been staying at Park City Medical Centre, which is in Desa Park City. The process was just so amazing. The staff have been incredible. Overall, it's made for a super comfortable stay. It's made everything a lot easier, having 2 kids that we need to keep entertained.
9 days ago, I ended up having emergency surgery in a Malaysian hospital. Long story short, I woke up in the early hours of Wednesday morning with severe abdominal pain. And so I didn't go to the hospital until 11 a.m. because I just thought the pain would subside on its own. But it did continue to get worse. I was vomiting, I was shivering. It was so bad. So we got to the hospital, and within 2 hours of arriving, I'd already had multiple blood tests, urine samples, and a CT scan. And then they confirmed it was appendicitis, which I kind of thought it might have been at this point. Obviously I was terrified because that meant that I had to have surgery. There was no other way. So by that time it's like 3 p.m. and then they said my surgery was at 5. So there's just no time to kind of prepare or mentally get myself ready for this, which I suppose in a way is quite good. I'd never had any surgery before. Being halfway across the world with just Sam and the kids, like, that was daunting. After I'd had the surgery, it was like 8 p.m. and then so I got there at 11 a.m. and I was already out of surgery by 8 p.m. So it was 9 hours from the minute I arrived. We actually upgraded our room to a VVIP room. So we had an actual apartment, and it had a dining area, lounge, bedroom, like for the kids, 2 bathrooms. It was so, so nice. Sam and the girls just didn't want to leave me. I was like half an hour away from where we were living, so it's understandable, and I was so scared. After 5 days, I actually got discharged to recover at home, but then I got readmitted to ICU for 2 nights to check my heart because I had an allergic reaction to one of the antibiotics. But yeah, so that also was terrifying. I'm now home, I'm doing better, I'm trying to make a speedy recovery. Overall, my experience with healthcare in Malaysia has been great, and I'm kind of glad in a way that it happened in Malaysia, because I'm not sure the UK would have been quite so speedy.
I finally used Malaysia's public healthcare system, and here is my honest review on it. Now, I've actually talked a lot of times in the past about the efficiency that I've experienced here in Malaysia when it comes to the healthcare system. But anytime I've made a video like that, people have pointed out to me, yeah, but you're using private healthcare, of course it's going to be efficient. Fair point. Well, recently I actually had to use the Malaysian public healthcare system. The reason being that I was bitten very, very badly all over my hands by a stray cat. Why, you may ask, did this happen? Well, number 1, of course, I am a full-time cat rescuer. And 2, I am stupid, and I wasn't wearing gloves. And speaking of stupidity, I live in a state where there is rabies, and I've never had a rabies vaccine, despite the fact that I handle stray animals every single day. So after I was bitten, I of course had to go fairly promptly to the hospital to get jabbed with various needles. So what did I have done? Well, because the bites that I had on my fingers were deep and we didn't know whether this animal could have had rabies, I had to have injections directly into my fingers, and that was the most horrific thing I've ever gone through. But now, anyone that has ever seen me before and has eyes will see that I'm fairly heavily tattooed. Tattoos hurt, right? They do hurt. The pain of these injections going into my pus-filled, infected knuckles was like tattoos times 1,000. But I can't blame anybody for that. That's just what they feel like. It was horrific, but that's nobody's fault, except for maybe my own, for sticking my hand in front of a stray cat that I knew nothing about. Then I had to have a booster in each arm, and then in the following days I had to have follow-up boosters in each arm. I think it was like 3 or 4 times I had to go. So the first thing, of course, is waiting time. Did I have to wait a long time to get treated? A little while. I would say from waiting for a consultation to then waiting to get my first injection and injections after that, I was in the hospital for a total of about 4.5, maybe 5 hours. Now, keeping in mind, I come from a country where it takes between 2 and 4 weeks to get an appointment to see a doctor. And if you do go to the emergency room hospital, like I did in this particular situation, then waiting times can be up to 12 hours or longer. And of course, what everyone in the UK especially is going to ask is, well, was it free though? Didn't you have to pay? Yes, I did have to pay because I am a foreigner. Just like if a Malaysian goes to the UK and they want to use our NHS, they will have to pay. They don't get it for free because they are not a British citizen or resident, and I am not a Malaysian citizen or resident, so I did have to pay. But actually, it was very, very reasonable. So for each round of injections, I had to pay just 40 ringgit, and I think actually that that is very, very good indeed. But yes, if you were a local here in Malaysia, you would pay just 1 ringgit. In fact, even my friend, who is a UK citizen but is resident here in Malaysia because he has a local wife, he actually recently had to get the rabies vaccines as well, and he paid the local price. So very, very impressed with the efficiency and the general communication of all of the people that I dealt with, the doctors and nurses throughout my time there in the hospital. So really, I would say from what I went through, getting bitten, having to rush to the hospital, having to have these things done, around about 5 hours maximum waiting time, very, very reasonable cost-wise, very, very helpful people. I would say the public health service, from my experience, and especially compared to what I'm used to in the UK, where to be honest, it is kind of chaotic right now, and you're lucky if you can even see anybody. I think that the Malaysian healthcare service is far more efficient and generally much more organised than the public healthcare in the country that I come from. That being said, hopefully I can still go a fair while without going back to hospital, because it's not really where I like to spend my time, no matter how good it is.
In Malaysia, if you got sick, Malaysian people will never ask you to see a doctor. No, forget about it. You know what they're gonna tell you? They're gonna tell you, yeah, you're sick because you not drink enough water, drink more water. I try to stay healthy.
You know, I'm 56 years old.
Damn!
I'm sorry.
I get the question, how do you stay so thin in Malaysia, a lot. So I thought I'd just let you guys know, because it might be a bit interesting to you. So for those that don't know, Malaysian food, yes, it might be a bit unhealthy, sugary, fatty, nothing compared to the US. The US is king of unhealthiness. But what I do, number one, is I don't drink any of your drinks. Very rarely do I. And that's because they are absolutely loaded with sugar. I saw a guy make a drink once out of like a regular, okay, I can't use both my hands, but like a regular size cup, and there was literally that much sugar syrup in it. Just insane. Number two, I very rarely eat rice. I will on occasion, but really, and like if I'm given rice, I don't eat the whole thing. I only eat like a third or a half. Number three, I actively seek meals that have vegetables. It's actually quite rare to find meals here that have vegetables, which is really difficult when you're trying to be healthy. There are so many things that you can add vegetables to, but they just choose not to. It's probably to keep the price cheaper, which I understand, but vegetables are very important to your health, so eat your vegetables. Okay, that's a TikTok sound. I don't know if you understand the reference, but yeah, I actively seek out meals with vegetables. Number four, I eat tons of local fruit. Like, those are my snacks. Like, I don't snack on like anything that is really processed. On occasion I do, but mostly I love the fruit, and I just sit there at night and I just eat them. That's my snack. So try snacking on some fruit instead of like, I don't know, candy bars or whatever else you eat for a snack. Also, I don't work out. I should, but I walk some. I walk. So if you can walk, try to walk. That'll get you to burn some calories.
Spend 17 hours with us as UK medics in Malaysia. I got up bright and early this morning and got ready for my hospital placement, and of course had some delicious breakfast too, with avocados, eggs, cucumbers and sausages. We've now got a routine of placement followed by exploring the city, and I won't lie, I'm loving it. This morning I joined my doctors in theatres, and the scrubs here were so different to what I'm used to. They were purple, which was actually quite pretty, but the bottoms were too short for me and I couldn't get over how funny I looked. Obviously, just like the UK hospitals, no lockers were free, so I stuffed my things in the corner and hoped for the best. By the way guys, I'm really struggling to find my way around this hospital. It's so huge. After theatres I had a break, and I find it so interesting that there are so many vending machines around the hospital, even ones that do hot food. I was craving an iced coffee, so got one from one of the vending machines, and it actually tasted quite nice. I spent the afternoon shadowing my consultant before meeting up with some friends at the university who took us to a popular restaurant called Village Park. We tried nasi lemak, which is essentially coconut rice with fried chicken, cucumbers, boiled eggs, peanuts and a spicy paste. This tasted so yummy. I would give it an 8.5 out of 10 and definitely need to get it again. We then headed home, where I edited an upcoming YouTube video, had some dinner, and once we saw the gorgeous sunset, we headed out to Merdeka Square. This area was so lovely. It's basically like an open park where people come and chill with their friends and families. There's also live music and loads of food vans, and honestly the vibes were perfect. I spent some time riding around the park, which was such a fun way to end the day. Make sure you follow to see what else we get up to in Malaysia.
Jadi ceritanya, ibu ini habis menjalani operasi sesar di rumah sakit pemerintah Malaysia. Bukannya bersyukur karena proses melahirkannya selamat dan lancar, dia justru curhat di media sosial dan kasih nilai yang sangat rendah. Alasannya, dia bilang selama 4 hari di sana dia nggak mandi, anaknya juga belum dimandikan. Terus makanan di rumah sakit katanya nggak enak. Ditambah lagi, dia merasa para perawat di sana cerewet dan terlalu banyak dokter praktik yang datang. Dari ceritanya itu langsung deh viral. Tapi yang bikin banyak netizen terheran-heran adalah, kok bisa ya rumah sakit di Malaysia dikasih rating serendah itu? Soalnya kita semua tahu sistem kesehatan Malaysia itu udah diakui dunia loh. Bahkan Malaysia sekarang udah mengalahkan Singapura, India, dan Turki dalam hal medical tourism alias wisata medis. Malaysia itu sekarang peringkat 1 dunia dalam urusan orang luar negeri datang buat berobat. Banyak orang luar, termasuk dari Eropa dan Amerika, rela terbang jauh-jauh ke Malaysia buat operasi atau pengobatan tertentu karena biaya di sana lebih murah, kualitasnya tinggi, teknologinya canggih, dan pelayanannya efisien. Bahkan, banyak dokter di Indonesia sendiri secara terbuka mengakui bahwa pelayanan rumah sakit di Malaysia itu memang berada 1 atau 2 langkah di depan kita. Makanya, ketika ada WNI yang justru kasih rating 2 dari 100, ya wajar kalau netizen ikut terkejut. Apalagi kalau alasannya cuma soal nggak mandi atau makanan nggak enak. Lah, itu rumah sakit, bukan hotel bintang 5. Fokus utama rumah sakit kan untuk sembuhin pasien dan pastikan ibu dan bayi selamat. Sebagai sesama warga Indonesia, tentu kita tetap menghargai setiap pengalaman pribadi. Tapi, kalau kita sedang berada di negara orang dan memanfaatkan fasilitas publik mereka, apalagi sampai ditorong dan dilayani dengan profesional, alangkah lebih baik kalau kita juga bersikap adil dan menghargai. Kalau mau kasih kritik, boleh, tapi sampaikan dengan elegan dan jangan sampai menjelekkan negara lain tanpa alasan yang kuat. Dan buat kita di Indonesia, pengalaman ini bisa jadi bahan renungan juga. Kalau rumah sakit kita ingin bersaing di level internasional seperti Malaysia, maka perbaikan layanan, infrastruktur, dan sumber daya manusia harus terus dilakukan. Tapi yang paling penting, sebagai pasien, dimanapun kita berada, kita juga harus tahu diri, tahu tempat, dan tahu bagaimana bersikap sopan. Karena rasa hormat itu nggak hanya penting, tapi juga mencerminkan siapa kita sebenarnya.
Baby,